friends, welcome back to my channel. Sas here. I'm here to do a movie review, A Fall from Grace. It is a Tyler Perry movie. It's on Netflix and it came out last Friday. So I have given you all plenty of time to watch this movie because I will be spoiling the heck out this movie. So don't come at me in the comments saying, well, I haven't seen it yet. Then go watch it. Okay? So there will be spoilers. Alright? I have a lot to say. But I want to make it short. You know, I'm not going to hit every little thing about this movie. Okay? But I will hit the hot spots. Now again, as I said, this is a Tyler Perry movie all over it. From the production to the wigs. Listen, okay, I know a big deal has been made about these wigs. When I seen the trailer, I thought that it was set back in the 90s. You know, I was like, why are they wearing these horrible wigs? Why is the man looking like this? So I was thinking, okay, is he going back to the 90s like a flashback, child? Now, present time. Present time. What guys walking around with the head like that? And why do you need wigs? Tyler, why do the men need wigs? Let's get into it. How I'm going to review this is I'm going to tell each main character's story. Okay? There's Grace, alright? And then there's Jasmine. Alright, let's talk about Jasmine. Jasmine is played by Brisha Webb. Fantastic. I really like Brisha Webb. And you can tell she really wanted this role. Okay? She really wanted this role. And I'm glad she got it because usually you see her in comedic roles. So it's good to see her in a little, you know, drama. Okay? And I think that she played her role really well. She is a defensive attorney. She is a defense attorney. Her boyfriend or husband, he's a cop. And she works for Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is no nonsense. You know, he's a jerk. Okay, he's a jerk boss. He's just that kind of boss. All right. Now Jasmine, you know, she's a young attorney and she likes to plead out cases. Okay, you got a traffic ticket, plead it out. You've been arrested for drugs, plead it out. Okay. Everything is a plea deal. You don't went upside your girl or boy's head, plead it out. Okay? She has never had a, you know, murder case or a major case. You know, she just treats it as, I'm a defense attorney. Let's plead it out. Let's not waste anybody's time. Let's not waste any taxpayer, you know, money. You know, and I think that she was kind of hesitant to take on the bigger clients or to go to trial. I think she was a little apprehensive. She wasn't experienced. I think she had doubt in herself. So that's Jasmine, okay? And of course we have the sidekicks, all right? We have, you know, her co-workers, you know, the black girl, and then we have, you know, the I guess it was her boyfriend or her guy friend or, you know, whatever. Now, Jasmine is in for it, okay? Not only does she have this case to defend Grace, but it's very high profile. So she has to, you know, do what she has to do, okay? And what she needs to do is plead this out, okay? Her jerk of a boss, Tyler Perry, with his horrible Dollar General wig. Why does Tyler Perry needs to be in his movie all the time? So anyway, so she goes to the prison to meet Grace. And Grace is a very, I get to her in a minute. So she's talking to Grace, and Grace has already said, I want to plead guilty. She's already said it. I did the crime. I want to do the time. And so, Jasmine is like, great. I'll be home by lunch. I may even, call my hubby, and we may have some skyrocketing flight. Hey, afternoon delight. Yes. Okay, so she's ready. So, of course, the DA, he's all for it. And then he comes up with, life or 15 years, all this bunch of crap. But Grace, she's like, whatever. Just as long as I don't get a needle and I can go to a prison that is closer to my son. Okay? So that's all she wanted. All right? She don't care if she has to be in there for the rest of her life, just as long as she goes to a prison that is close to her child. All right? So Jasmine is like, I will do what I can do. But, she can tell that, there's something behind this. And her guy co-worker was like, look, sometimes they're not always guilty. All right? Do your job. Okay, this woman has a backstory. We don't know if this woman's guilty or not. Okay, look deeper into it. Just don't plead out. That's what the guy co-working is telling her. Fight for this. Fight for her. So, Jasmine, of course, as I said before, she's all about the plea, the plea, the plea, the plea. That's all she wants. Now, let's talk about Grace. Now, remember when I told you earlier that this is a very Tyler Perry movie? Grace is a Tyler Perry movie. How many times have we seen this character? How many times have we seen Grace's character in a Tyler Perry movie? We have a black woman. She is attractive. She's educated. She seems very smart. Okay. She has a child. She has a son. All right. She's divorced. She has her home. She works at a bank. Everything, it seems together. Okay. But there's one thing missing. What's missing, y'all? That's right. A man. Okay. A man is missing. All right. So she's lonely. Okay. She hasn't been with a man, I think, in over a decade. And she's ready. She's ready to get back out there into the dating world. So she becomes friends with a woman named Sarah. And it's after her son has gotten married. And she's talking to her, friend Sarah, which is played by the great Felicia Rashad. And so she's just telling Sarah, I'm ready to get back out there. Okay? I'm ready to love and to be loved. Okay? I'm ready to, basically she said, I'm ready to get this back broke. It's been 10 years and I'm tired. Let me go ahead and put these knees behind my ears. That's basically what she said, y'all. So Sarah was like, well, get back out there. There's dating sites called Christian Online Dating, and just get on out there. You need to get out there. Start dating. Start having fun. Get out of the house. Okay? Your boy is grown. He done moved on. He married. Okay? It's time for you to have a little bit of happiness. And so Grace was like, I'm not getting on that site. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. So anyway, of course, Sarah, she has some, recommendations. And there's this art gallery. Okay, so she's at the art gallery. So Grace goes to this art gallery, and who does she run into? A guy named Shannon. He's a photographer, and apparently he traveled the world. He went to Ethiopia, and he captured these fantastic shots and all this. Okay, so he comes up to her with this horrendous wig. And this shirt. Everything about him looked tacky. His hair, his shirt, his jewelry, everything about it. But again, Grace, she haven't dated, and here's this this attractive young black man coming up to her, telling her what she needs to hear or wants to hear. So what does she do? Oh my God. Okay. She is swept off her feet. Honey, she is tickled. Okay, so she didn't want to seem desperate. So she waited a couple of days to call him, and she finally called him, and he was like, listen, let's go out tonight. Do you mind going down there to the truck stop diner? And of course, Grace, she's just thrilled that anybody's looking at her. She's just thrilled that a guy is interested in her. I'm not going to say that, most of these Grace characters in Tyler Perry movies are desperate, but I want to say they desperate. Okay? So they go to the truck stop diner. That's the best you can do, Tyler Perry. I mean, didn't you build $1 billion studio? You can make a nice restaurant. You got to go to the truck stop diner, child. Whores on the left, truckers on the right. You better stop, Tyler. Stop it. So, of course, they're sitting there, okay? She is just enamored by this guy, okay? Just beaming because she haven't been out, and this guy asked her out, and he's attractive, so why not? And, of course, he's telling her everything that she wants to hear. And here we go with the, why me? That's what Grace asked this guy, who got the busted up hair and a tacky silk shirt with a scarf. I said, with all this tacky shirt, he had bangles. When I said he got bangles on. Bangles, okay. Oh, no. And this is present time. So Grace is asking him, why me? Why would you be interested in me? Because you're so great. You're this photographer. You're attractive. You can pick any woman. Why me? No, Grace, you shouldn't be asking why me. You should have been asking, why'd you take me to this truck stop diner? You could take me to aha. So, of course, again, he's feeding her everything that she wants to hear. She needs to hear. So they do the little music monologue, and then they are in the truck stop diner and they drinking wine. Y'all, how many diners do you know that serve wine? Now this is supposedly based in Virginia. Okay, all this supposedly took place in Virginia. Now, I've been in Virginia my whole life. And I have never ever seen wine at a truck stop diner. I've been in a many diners. Okay? And I ain't never seen no wine on the menu. Child, what they serving? Ripple. Where that from, y'all? Where's that from? Ripple. Okay, is that what was it? It didn't have wine glasses. Tyler had the nerve to have wine glasses. He done picked up at the Dollar Tree. If you don't go somewhere and sell. See, it's the little things. It's just the little things. So anyway, of course what happens? Okay, it's a Tyler Perry movie. She falls hard for this guy. This guy swept her off her feet. Okay, this guy even went to church with her. Oh my God, oh my God, he went to church. Oh my God, marry him, have 10 babies. He went to church. Honey, that sealed the deal. He went to church. So of course, he falls for her. Okay? He shows up at her work. He takes her flowers. He's taking her picture. And she is tickled. Of course, she's telling Sarah all this. Okay? She's telling Sarah that she has never felt like this before. The love, the caring, the kindness, the compassion. And honey, she's ready. All right? Now, she hasn't had her back broke in a long time. And she's ready, child. So what does he do? He takes her to the woods or forest or wherever they were at to see some fireflies. And he proposes to her. Okay? And honey, before he could say well, she was like, yes. 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 So of course she says yes, they get married, he done took her to the bedroom, he's taking pictures of her, and that's it. Okay? It was, raindrops and lollipops until the real Shannon starts to come out. See, when he was sitting up in church, listening to that choir, hearing that good sermon, honey, it wasn't soaking in. He didn't hear nothing about the Lord, honey. The devil was on that right shoulder the whole time, just whispering to her. Treat her like trash. Treat her like dirt. Take all her money, child. Make her feel like she ain't got no need to live. Okay, that's what the devil was doing while he was up in church. So, as time went on, he starts to change. Okay, here comes the red flags. Like in all the Tyler Perry movies. So one night, she wakes up, he wasn't by her side. She comes down, and what is he doing? He's talking on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Which leads to him, which leads to her thinking that he's talking to another woman. So she says, who are you talking to? Honey, Christian boy Shannon. He says, 2 things you need to know. Okay? Don't question me. And don't ask me. Okay? And we'll get along good. Don't you ever question me. Now, of course, he didn't say it in a nice way. All right? He said it in a mean, cruel way. But what does, Grace do? Okay. This strong, independent woman who works at a bank, who is self-assured of herself, she finds a man and it's done broke her down within 3 months. He openly disrespected this woman. And she was like, okay. Because, she has to have a man. Who else will have her? Who else? So she needs to take this abuse from Christian boy Shannon. Now, of course, she's telling this story to Jasmine. All right? And so Jasmine's like, something ain't right here. Okay? Something's not right. So Jasmine is starting to feel for this woman. Okay? Jasmine is saying, all right, okay, I'm going to have to really take this case serious. Okay? No more playing. All right? I'm going to have to get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay? So, Grace, again, she continues to talk to Sarah, her good friend Sarah. All right? Now, Sarah, she's a landlord, and she has older women living with her. And who's one of the older women? Miss Cicely Tyson. Now, listen. I know Tyler Perry treasures Cicely Tyson. And I know that Cicely Tyson probably wants to work. But honey, ain't Cicely Tyson tired? Okay? Cicely Tyson is one of the greatest actresses alive. White, black, purple, green, yellow. Let me tell y'all something. This is how good Cicely Tyson is. Do y'all remember The Women of Brewster Place? If you hadn't seen it, you need to. Cicely Tyson was on that screen no longer than 15 minutes. And the exchange between her and Robin Gibbons was the best part of that whole series, child. Cicely Tyson walked up in there and shut it down. Honey, Cicely Tyson could act her butt off. I mean, she's so good. Okay? Why does she need to be in this movie? But anyway, I move on. Cicely Tyson is one of her tenants. Okay? So she has these older women around her, and Sarah is Grace's best friend. Okay? Sarah is there for Grace to talk to, Grace, she's on her phone, she's at work, and she's talking to Sarah when, honey, all of the white people that she worked with start looking into her office like, today's your day. Today's your day, Grace. So they call her into the office, and what happens? She gets fired. Now, apparently, $375,000 was taken. All right? And since she ran that department, all right, and since the money didn't tally up, Grace, M-I-R-E-D, you're fired. Of course, she didn't know what was going on. She was like, are you kidding me? I have been here so many years. Honey, the books and the money has always been on point. You're not going to let me explain? Well, of course not. Of course not. Take your feet to the street. Okay? So, she goes back home. Sarah's there. And, of course, she is racking her brain. She was like, how could they get rid of me? I cannot believe they are thinking that I took $375,000. I would never do that. So then she's venting, she's upset, she's angry, she's embarrassed, and she's vented to Sarah. And then, she was like, I've been calling him, where's he at? He's probably with some other woman. And who walks in? Honey, Christian Shannon with the bad hair and the bad wardrobe. So he walks in, and of course she goes off. And she was like, where you been? I've been calling you. You been shacking up with some fools? I need answers. So, of course, Christian Shannon, he was like, telling Sarah, can I speak to my wife, please? And here's Sarah. I'm not going anywhere. And so he was like, can I speak to my wife? She was like, I'm not going anywhere. She had an attitude. She was acting like, you may hurt, Grace, and, I'm here to protect her. I don't like how you treat her. I'm not leaving. And, of course, Grace, she was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. So, of course, Sarah leaves. So, Grace is accusing, Shannon of, cheating on her. And so, he was like, are you kidding me? He was like, I was talking to someone about bringing the children to see the fireflies because they're dying. Okay? These are sick children. I'm not laying up with no woman. Okay, so of course he has pictures because he's a photographer. So he has proof. Alright? So now Sarah feels bad for accusing her husband of cheating when he was out there doing the God's work. He's helping sick children. Now, I don't know too many, children who would want to go see fireflies. But I guess. So, she tells him, I was fired now. I was fired. Now, they done accused me of taking $375,000. And, of course, he's concerned because his wife just got fired. He was like, oh, my God, are you okay? We're going to figure this out. So, of course, they work together. All right, they go through books and documents and computers and all this to try to find that money. But, they couldn't find it. And, hey, her job was like either come up with the money or you're going to go to jail. Okay, so figure it out. So, meanwhile, we have Jasmine. All right, Jasmine, she's getting it going. She's getting it going, all right? She is really behind Grace, okay? She does not want Grace to plead. She wants Grace to go to trial, okay? That's what Jasmine wants. Jasmine's like, listen, don't plead this out. You have a fighting chance, gal. You have a fighting chance, all right? So then let me just go to the part where you all want to know, all right? Now, come to find out that Christian Shannon was a no-good fool. Again, Tyler Perry movie. Okay? Christian Shannon have stole the money. Okay? He wasn't no photographer, scam artist, liar, cheater, abuser, all those things. much Grace could do because, hey, she married him. Okay? That's his house too. And then one day, Grace comes home and finds him in bed with another woman. Now, what does Grace do? Because, she's already done been beat down. Okay? She tells him to get out. Get out of my house. And what does he do? Oh, he laughs. And what does that harlot do that was laid up with her? He said, honey, she said, is that your mom? I was like, Tyler Perry, come on now. So, of course, Grace, she, tucks her tail in between her legs because, Grace started out strong, independent. Okay? But now, honey, she done tucked her tail in between her legs while some harlot is upstairs sleeping with her husband. So she's downstairs, honey, look like who done it, what for? Okay, she is at her breaking point. He has broke her. So he comes down hand in hand with the harlot. Talking, kissy, huggy. Okay, so he sits down. Okay, he smokes a cigarette and let the games begin. Okay, Grace is like, listen here, fool. Okay, give me back my money. You took my money. Okay, they are going to charge me. They are going to send me to jail. And he was like, and he said, I don't care. He said, you know why? He said, because I deserve that money. Because I was sleeping with you. I deserve that money because nobody else wanted you. You was old. You was washed up. You didn't have no confidence about yourself. Who else would have wanted you? Okay? You lucky that you got me. You're lucky that I took you to the Truckadonna on the first day. So, of course, he just talked. The more he talked, the more venom he spit. The more he talked, the more he just knocked her down even more. The more he talked, the more broken, the more angry she got. So he's talking and cocky and smoking the cigarette and all this until, honey, Grace had enough. Spoiler alert, she had a bat. Now, this is where I have a problem with this movie. Okay? A problem. So we have Grace. Now, she done had this pent-up anger for a long time. She's been fired. She's been lied to. She's been humiliated. She's been degraded. Just a whole bunch of mess. So she takes the bat and she proceeds to beat the hell out of him. Now, I'm not talking about little swings. I'm talking about, honey, she was letting all that anger out. Now, she didn't just hit him one time. She didn't just hit him 2, friends. She hit him 11 times with a bat. Honey, there was blood splatter, brain matter. Honey, his face was unrecognizable. Honey, it looked like somebody had just squished, strawberries up in his face. Honey, you couldn't even see his face. Honey, that tied wig was tilted to the right. I said, child. So then, what did Grace do? Grace dragged this man to the stairs of the basement and throws him down the stairs. Okay? So, let's go back to Jasmine. So, of course, Grace is telling Jasmine all this, and Jasmine's like, oh, no, we got to go to trial. We have to go to trial, okay? All right? She didn't do it. She did it because of her being abused. All right? So, she had that police officer boyfriend to run checks on, Shannon, and, of course, he was clear. I mean, nothing come back. Anyway, but guess what, friends? There was nobody. Now, she done beat this man to hell. Threw him down some stairs. But there was nobody. So, Grace said that she gets in her car And she just drove to the country. She just drove to the country. She just drove. She didn't know what to do. All right. Now, she didn't call her son. She called Sarah. That was the first one she called was Sarah. Now, she called Sarah. She told Sarah what happened. Sarah shows up. When Sarah gets there, she sees her Grace's son come out. The cops go there, and the cops was like, listen, okay? All right, there's no body. But we could tell that there was a crime because there was blood on the stairs. All right? So this woman must have dragged this man out of the basement and put him in the trunk of the car, drove to the country, and buried him. So Jasmine, she's keen. Okay, no more pleading. She ready to fight. She had fire underneath her buttocks. So she convinces Grace, we go to trial. And so Grace was like, let's go. So they go to trial, and of course they're questioning everybody, neighbors, cousins, granddaddies, aunts. How did they question everybody? All right, they put Sarah on the stand. Of course, Sarah was saying that, you know, Grace would never kill anyone. Okay, of course she would not, you know, beat somebody in the head with a bat and put them in a trunk. All right, but then here comes the prosecutor. She done broke down Sarah. And Sarah was like, well, that night when I was talking to Grace, she told me she killed him. Oh! Shock, shock, shock. All right, so of course, boom, put a nail in it. Put a nail in it, okay? She done admitted to killing this man. All right, so Sarah, she gets up on the stand. She's upset. I mean, she had no other choice. Okay? She could not commit perjury, so she had to tell the truth, even though that put a nail in the coffin of her friend, okay? And of course, Grace, she forgives her because she don't want Sarah to lie. She knows Sarah's in a good place. Right? Okay. So, the trial continues, and it was just a hot mess. Jasmine done end up fussing with the judge because she wanted to call Sarah. The judge said, girl, I ain't got time for you. It's closing arguments. You didn't have your stuff together. She done had it out with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry done talked to her like a dog. It was just a big mess. Honey, Jasmine ended up in jail. Jasmine said, I ain't apologizing to that judge. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. I said in here. That's what I said. So anyway, Grace was found guilty. Now, while Grace was getting handcuffed, okay, and she was going to say goodbye to her son and to Sarah, she noticed that Sarah had on a necklace. Apparently some necklace from the Ethiopian tribe. The same necklace that Christian Shannon had. Dun, dun, dun! There's your twist. Now, apparently, people thought this twist was shocking. Honey, I knew what the twist was. When Sarah and Grace was at that bank, and that woman was telling her about that money, go back and look at how Sarah was looking. I was like, so of course they flash back to everything. Of course Sarah, you know, when she had it out, when she was trying to defend Grace with Shannon when they were in the house, she grazed her hand up against Shannon. It was Sarah who told her to go to that art gallery. I mean, connect the dots. All right, Sarah ended up being Shannon's mom. Okay, so Grace, she gets out of jail. All right, and her man, you know, picked her up, and she was like, you know what? I just want to walk the rest of the way. So she's walking, and you know, she runs up on Cicely Tyson, and you know, they're talking, and somehow or another, Grace ends up locked up in this or in some type of shed or whatever of Sarah. Okay, so Sarah, and who shows up? Shannon. Shannon, the one that was beat to hell with a baseball bat and thrown down a flight of stairs, is standing now with a Dollar General bandage and two black eyes. Y'all, when I tell you I almost picked up my TV and thrown it out the window, are you serious? Really? Through all of the brain matter, blood splatter, you couldn't even recognize his face. But he's up walking around. Hey, Grace. I said, unreal. Now I'm not nitpicking over every little thing, but she should have just hit him twice. But 11. So of course, here comes Grace's boyfriend, and not only was he beat with a bat 11 times, he had enough strength to fight. So what ends up happening is Grace and her police boyfriend shoots Shannon and kills him. Honey, when that happened, I was like, y'all better make sure that he dead. Y'all only put 2 bullets in him. You better put 20 because he survived the whole 11 blows to the head. Check the neck. Check the neck. So he dead. Sarah gets away, and come to find out that they were just a mother and son, scam artists. They take old women, they take their money. Some of the women commit suicide. They were just a hot ass mess. A bunch of con artists. Felicia Rashad, what you doing taking them people's money? Claire Huxtable would never. But anyway, guys, Grace gets out, and you see, Sarah at some old person's home. But anyway, that is a fall from grace. What did you guys think about it? Okay, of course I didn't hit everything, but I just wanted to give you, the hot spots. On a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a hard 2. I give it a 2. I give it a 2, and that's it. This is, I give it a 2. Alright? Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, because y'all wanted me to do this review. I was going to do it, but y'all was asking me. So y'all better leave some comments. And you better hit that like button, because my throat's dry. Alright guys, until next time, bye.